Five Nights at Freddy's is a pretty dead franchise currently. Fortunately for fans, the series doesn't necessarily require new stuff to be coming out constantly to keep us entertained. Well, maybe in the theory space, they're kind of desperate right now, but for just general fans, it's not so bad. You can still go and play any FNAF game or spin off, along with a gargantuan collection of stellar fan games that are out there. One part of this series that I greatly enjoy is the chapter that features it in Dead by Daylight. It recently turned a year old, so today I want to take a good look at the DLC and determine if it still lives up to all the hype that was built around it. Starting with the main attraction, Springtrap. He's known as the animatronic, and he always comes back. This model for Springtrap is simply peak. I mean, look at him. They did such an incredible job with it, and it's one of, if not the best version of him in the whole series. I don't really have to say too much about him besides that. I mean, look at it with your eyeballs. It's peak. What I do kind of want to talk about a little bit more is the other aspects of the design. He's got a big chunk of lore that explains how he got into the fog to begin with, and it's also just extremely well done. I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but here's some of it. No children, no games, no laughter. Just a swirling mass of black fog enveloping the far wall. Springtrap examined the fog. Curiosity tightened its grip on him. As he stared into the darkness, his eyes could see shapes emerge within the fog. Who were they? It didn't matter. They were his victims now. Somehow, he knew the hunt could go on forever. All he had to do was step into the fog. Like, isn't that peak writing? Tell me it isn't, because it is, and you're wrong if you say it isn't. The next thing I'd like to talk about is his power. Springtrap can do a lot of things in DBD. First of these is the security doors. They perfectly fit his theming, obviously, they're security doors. Basically, 7 doors will spawn randomly on the map, and he can teleport between any of them. The really cool part is the actual animation. You walk through a Fazbear security office to teleport. It's got a few little details in it, and it's really awesome to see. Springtrap can use these freely, but the survivors have limited battery life. If a survivor goes through while the killer is in, they get grabbed with a cool animation and are picked up by Springtrap. Survivors can also look through cameras attached to the doors and reveal Springtrap on them. Overall, this part of his kit is just very awesome and well done. Next is the fire axe. He has an axe he can throw at survivors. Simple, sure, but it's also a very well made power. Firstly, if you successfully hit a survivor, the axe gets stuck in their back. Then, if you get close enough, you can grab the axe, which plays a sick animation of Springtrap jump scaring the survivor. The main thing I love about this power is the skill expression. There's basically no limit to how crazy of a shot you can hit with this thing. It's a well-designed and implemented power. As for the actual lore accuracy of it, it's not the most solid thing ever. I think it's mostly a reference to how a lot of fan animations depict him, which is awesome. It also allowed them to do something interesting with him, otherwise he could have ended up as a very boring killer. The add-ons for the axe are all great too. None of them are OP or anything, but some are really well done. There's 20 of them, so I'm not going to go into every single one, but I will cover some of my favorites. Loot Bag is first, which essentially guarantees a kill in the endgame. I like it more so just for the idea of it. It's like a final little reward at the end of the match, and Loot Bag is just the perfect name for it. Bonnie's guitar strings are a great reference to Into the Pit. Freddy's hat sucks for gameplay, but the description for it is peak and also very dark. The purple guy drawing references FNAF World, which again is always peak. There's a reference to the newspapers from the older games here too, so that's cool. His power, which is the doors, axe, and add-ons combined, is called Fazbear's Fright as well. Next are the perks, and I think this is where he kind of starts to fall off a little bit. They're fine, I suppose, but not anything too great. They're both just bad gameplay wise and a bit lazy with the ideas and design for them. First is Help Wanted. It's a cool reference, but the perk itself just kind of sucks. The icon for it is alright too, with Springtrap's shadow watching over the generator. Next is Phantom Fear, and it's easily my favorite of the three. It basically just makes someone scream whenever they look at you, on a cooldown. It's very in character, and the name matches the game he originally came from, FNAF 3. The icon for it is also very well done, being someone screaming within the jaws of the Spring Bonnie suit. The last perk has nothing redeeming about it. It's called Haywire. I suppose Springtrap is kind of a haywire animatronic, but he's more of a person than just a possessed machine. The actual thing it does is so useless, and the icon for it has nothing to do with Springtrap. It's just an exit gate switch. Overall, his perks are okay, and within the limitations of Dead by Daylight, they're fine, but they really just don't match Springtrap all that well, except for Phantom Fear. That one is decent. Springtrap as a character was very well executed. I haven't even mentioned the countless voice lines he has either. He's voiced by PJ Haywood, the same guy that did Scraptrap in FNAF 6, and he does an amazing job at it. He's got countless lines, a lot of which give him a lot of character. They're not exactly lore accurate, as they're a lot more, silly than how I would think Springtrap would be, but that's not a bad thing. A few of my favorites include,
I'm the fun one. Let's go. No pizza for you. The darkest pit of hell is open for business. Play with fire and you'll get burned. I'm so sorry. Up you go.
Springtrap is overall just so well designed, and besides the perks, he's everything I could have really asked for in a collab like this. The next thing to go over is the actual map, and it's probably one of the weakest things in this chapter. Don't get me wrong, the building itself is amazing. It's a rough combination of the FNAF 1 location with visuals more so from the FNAF 1 movie location. It's done perfectly. If this map was just like a little display or like diorama on my desk I could look at, I'd stare at every little detail for hours. It's got a version of the chair from the movie, posters, kids' drawings, a cool arcade with a ball pit, pizza boxes. It's even got a stage where you can activate the animatronics and see them perform. The sign from the movie is also out front. It's a very well done building, but the problem comes with the actual gameplay. A majority of your time on this map will be spent in generic forest around the actual building. Sure, it's cool to look at the place from the outside, but it's not very fun to rarely get to actually go into the building. It's very underwhelming in that way. If it were up to me, we would have gotten a map based more on FNAF 3 with the horror attraction. It could have been fully indoors too, and they just add on to the original location in that game. This video is not the place for a full redesign, but I'd love to do a video on that in the future if you all would be interested. There is one more thing to talk about here, that being the skins. These are a mixed bag, to say the least. His default and prestige skins are awesome, and I'll run them in most of my matches. Glitch Trap is also an amazing skin to be here, and he's even got a cool custom animation thing where he shushes instead of doing the jump scares like the other ones. Even Toxic and Blighted Springtrap are really solid skins. Never in my life did I think I'd like a FNAF AR skin, but here we are. The two bad skins here are Clown Springtrap, just look at it, and the Yellow Rabbit skin. Clown Springtrap isn't terrible, but it's certainly nothing I would ever drop $10 on. The worst skin here though is easily the Yellow Rabbit. I have nothing against Matthew Lillard or the design in general, but it's just a little bit too out there for me. The whole white man jump scare thing is funny for a little bit, maybe one match, but then it makes me wish we got a version of this skin where he actually has the Yellow Rabbit mask on. I don't know, it's just a missed opportunity and would take the skin from D tier to A or even S tier for me. There is more customization, which is always nice. This includes a few profile pictures, banners, and a shirt you can buy for your survivor. They're simple, but there's nothing wrong with them in my opinion. Now you might have noticed something kind of big here. We got Springtrap, very cool, but there's no survivors associated with the FNAF chapter. I think that's a very big missed opportunity. We don't have that many humans in Five Nights at Freddy's to begin with, but we do have Vanessa, Mike. I mean, even someone like Henry could have been cool to see. Springtrap has custom lines when he kills Nicolas Cage, so why not some cool lines for killing Vanessa, for example? This DLC is actually the only reason I even played Dead by Daylight. It's really fun to go around a Springtrap throwing axes at people. I mean, what can I say? With that being said, I don't think it was executed perfectly. Springtrap himself is done well, but there's a lack of content outside of that. The map, the perks, and no survivor is kind of, it's not great. To answer the question of the video, I think it mostly lives up to the hype that was built around it. This chapter was announced like a year before it actually dropped, so there was quite a bit of waiting for it. Does it still hold up today? I think looking back at it, there's things it could improve, but again, Springtrap himself, the main attraction, is amazing, and he's a really solid and balanced killer. I don't know how many of you have played DBD, but if you play it, Springtrap is like pretty balanced, and you actually have to be good at him to get any value, whereas some killers are just not like that. Of course, this is all just my opinion, so let me know what you all think down in the comments. Also, let me know if you want me to continue doing these smaller videos in between the bigger ones. It gives you all more content and lets me make videos on ideas that are too small for those big ones. The problem is that I think it's messing with like the reach of the channel a bit, as the last video did pretty poorly after like 7 videos in a row that did really well. So we'll have to see going forward. I might have to stop these. This is my job after all, so I do need to actually make enough money from it to live. I mean, I don't want to be like that, but I kind of have to because it's my job. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, superstars.